Put it on your lap.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Africa Talks Business. Go on. It's on.
Welcome to the Africa Talks Business Show, live every Saturday. Today we are here with two gentlemen, Harris Dabasia, a business mentor across continents, and Steve Diak, a very professional expert, a voice expert. And today we are going to talk about a random teenage gamer who pulled up to Africa and performed what governments couldn't do, what tourism ads couldn't do. What do you think Speed did right?
Let me start, and thank you for inviting us again. This tornado of content creator, tornado of attention, has changed the narrative of the dark continent. He's showing light on a continent that was considered to be dark. No lights, no roads, no internet, no electricity. And people are connecting to him for a number of reasons. He's connecting people to people. He's unscripted. He has no agenda. He's unfiltered. He's just a 20-year-old, youthful, enthusiastic youngster who is embracing African culture, African food, African traditions, African tribes. And everywhere he's going, he's wearing their local clothes. He's speaking their local languages, greetings. When he went to Ethiopia, it's Dananesh. When he comes to Nairobi, it's Habarigani. When he comes to Rwanda, it's Mirwe. The guy is connecting in levels that no, entertainer, no personality has ever done. And, he's one single streamer, one live content creator, streamer, is changing the narrative and for the good. I think Africa lacks storytelling. Africa has never been a dark continent. It has never been poor of resources. It has been poor in its storytelling, in its narrative. It was the colonials who dictated the story that the Africans told themselves. The Westerns told it the way they wanted it, but we've accepted it wholeheartedly. That narrative needs to break. We've become free nations, maybe 60, 70 years ago. But this colonial mindset is still lingering in the African psyche. The older generation, we can forgive them, but the youngsters, they are not going to accept that mindset. They are embracing ishowspeed like no other entity. So that's how I see it. In context of business, the guy has turned attention into cash, and he's showing he's showing the world. He's showing every business owner, every entrepreneur, that we are now entered in 2026 into an attention economy. Let's hear from Stevie on how to monetize content and how this guy is managing to turn attention into money.
Exactly. First thing I have to say about this young man is I used to watch his videos when he was in China, and I quite didn't understand in the beginning what he was doing. And then later on I realized the government of China invested a lot in him showing the other side of China that the world doesn't know. Like going to villages, interacting with cities that we don't know about, not just focusing on Hong Kong, Beijing, but he went to the countrysides. He was mingling with just random people.
Yeah,
He was
villagers,
even doing martial
farmers.
arts. I even saw him doing martial arts. I was like, this man is amazing. Now, when I heard he's coming to Africa, I was like, oh my God, that's the only God-sent opportunity for the African continent to really put themselves on the spotlight not only in terms of tourism, to create that content which is going to attract more visitors, but also in terms of investment, and also to break barriers of the psyche that people used to have about Africa. Because the moment you say, I even saw random vox pops when they say, "What's the capital of Africa?" and the person just says it's Nigeria. So they think the whole continent is actually a country.
Yeah.
ishowspeed has broken those barriers. ishowspeed has shown that Africa has a huge potential, beautiful places to see. And you know, ever since he came to Africa, I've seen more, especially Black Americans from the diaspora, visiting, especially the countries that he has been to. So it's like he has opened the doors. Now, coming to a content creation perspective, I think ishowspeed is a wake-up call to African content creators to wake up and realize that we have a potential on the continent. We as Africans, no matter the nation, even a nation which is known as the so-called poor country, you know, it shows that we can tap into our natural resources to really display the good side of Africa, what we have. Now, coming to the monetization aspect of that, I think this is the time for people dealing in the tourism industry, hotels, restaurants, cultural aspects, people who market the cultural side of Africa, to really tap into that opportunity to portray, to promote their businesses, and also to monetize. And why not to create content and to monetize that content also for that sort. That's what I can say about this man. My conclusion is that this is just a God-sent angel, no matter the age, and the guy has really done a lot for us.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the dark continent narrative, right? Where did it come from and why is it there?
I was surprised whenever I go to India. You know, you come from Africa and how come you're not dark? The Indians are telling me, you know, people in Africa, the notion is that people in Africa, the Africa continent is so hot, that's why you Africans are dark. And you know, I tell them that, you know, the temperature in Nairobi is, you know, on average between 20 and 30.
Exactly.
Oh, that's AC temperature.
Exactly.
In India.
Yeah.
And then why are you not, and why are the black people dark? Is the next question.
Yeah.
They believe that because the sun intensity, because we are at the equator, the sun's intensity is so high, that's you know, you've turned dark. They don't connect it to genetics.
Exactly.
And even in Africa, there are lots of shades. So in India, the southern Indians look like Africans.
Exactly. Yeah.
The northern Indians look like Europeans. But this dark continent notion is a derogative term that the colonials used to belittle us, to turn us into slaves, to turn us into servants. You know, and it was by design. They used this divide and rule, and we see in the consequences in Rwanda. The genocide was a direct result of this divide and rule policy that the Belgians used in measuring people's noses and their head and face and scalp and all that.
Yeah.
That resentment that was, you know, seeded, that resulted in that genocide where, you know, 1 or 2 million how many people died. And I'm seeing this. I came across 150 to 160 businessmen this week, and all of them very young. Very few people, old people in Rwanda, and it's because the old generation was killed off.
Was decimated.
And a lot of youngsters don't have, you know, anchor, you know, family members. They don't have a father. They don't have a mother.
Yeah.
A lot of orphans.
Situations like that.
They don't have any, you know, family role models to emulate to.
Father figures.
And that is, it's breeding insecurity in this young Gen Zs. Where they are, insecure about, where the next meal is going to come. They're insecure about, I need to have a job. They don't even, every time I come across a businessman, they're saying that they're short of cash. I'm saying you're not short of cash. You're short of clients, well-paying, profitable clients.
Exactly.
If you had, there was a lady I spoke to yesterday. She used to be she runs a boutique shop. I said, your problem is not cash. If I gave you, forward, orders that gave you, money in advance of 1,000 dresses, will that solve your money issue?
Money issue, exactly.
And she says no.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Also, Steve, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think the word dark, the continent of darkness, it was all institutionalized, legalized, and accepted by the whole world. When I grew up, I was told Niger is the poorest country in the world. But now we realize Niger has a lot of resources, and people didn't know that Niger is actually the country that brightens up France. Do you know that electricity from France comes from Niger?
Yeah, from the nuclear uranium that is extracted in Niger.
And guess what? The backstory is that Niger doesn't take advantage of that electricity.
Yeah.
It's dark. That's why I used to call it dark, poor. And I also realize it's the same scenario for so many countries. Togo, for example, is also rich in mineral resources. But when you look at the official documents, the narrative is that it's poor. So I don't believe in that anymore. What I think is that ishowspeed, to come back to that young man, he has really shown a huge potential in Africa. Let's take, for example, on his trips. Do you know he was eating food? Now, look at the different types of dishes that he was eating. It shows how multicolored the African cuisine is. It's a huge potential.
Very diverse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, now look at the landscapes where he visited. When you go to South Africa, for example, the landscape was amazing. There are places that I've not even seen in documentaries. When he came to Rwanda, there are some parts of Rwanda or the Rwandan culture that I never knew about until he came up.
Yeah.
So now, my conclusion about ishowspeed is that, coming back to the content creation, is that now people are starting to change the mindset, and there is a huge shift on the perception of Africa as a so-called dark continent. Look, what do you mean by dark continent when people buy houses worth 1 million, 2 million, 5 million US dollars? They don't run out of their houses that cost a lot like that. Just like in California. When you go to South Africa, there's a guy, he has a YouTube channel, it's called Ines Yilmazer. And then he showed a house in South Africa that was worth like $50 million. And you can't believe it, that this is Africa. It was right on the, how do you call it, Port Elizabeth, and you could see the ocean. It was amazing. You couldn't say this is the Africa that I know. So we need to start that thinking. That's what I think. We need to focus on what we have, the potential that we have, and we need to realize that Africa actually fuels the rest of the world in so many ways. I'm from Gabon, and Gabon is the largest, or used to be the largest exporter of logs. There's a specific tree that is called okume. That tree has multiple usages. We can use it as a candle. You can use the bark as a plywood. You can use the log as furniture. And even in France, when you look at France, most of the wooden infrastructures come from Gabon. So it was until the former President Ali Bongo started to lock that export that he was vilified. He was considered as a demon and stuff like that.
It's happening to this guy who, this new young general who took over the country.
Who took over the country, decided to change.
What's his name?
Oli Nguema.
He's being vilified by the French.
Exactly.
And because the French economy depended on the resources that they were extracting from the colonial past.
Even, manganese, we are the biggest exporter. I was born in the city of manganese. But when you see how people live in that city, it's appalling. It's like there was a war. So I think it is time for even our government to realize that we need to take ownership of our resources, to change the narratives, and to create content, to be storytellers. You know, to
Yeah.
change the narrative, to remove that dark to light,
Yeah.
continent of light. That's what I can say, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about Africa, we've actually realized that most of the stuff you just told us hasn't really been highlighted before. So let's go there. Why do you think creators are important in this economy?
We are moving away from the economy of sales and marketing to economy of attention. Content creation and also before we used to call it social media. It's no longer social media. Your content is not only shown to your subscribers, it is shown out to everyone.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2026 is the year that this is all going to happen. Live streaming, ishowspeed, being followed, and subscribers going up to nearly 50 million,
Exactly.
subscribers, and nearly 5 million subscribers just from Africa.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, but live shopping on TikTok is nearly $1 trillion economy. That's bigger than most African
Nations
economies.
together.
Yeah.
And I came across I have a friend and a client, his name is JP, and his wife, she buys dresses on TikTok shop in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Ah, that's the first time. I used to think it's only in China that you can do
No, she is buying her dresses
that.
on TikTok shop
Live.
live. This the TikTok shoppers, the girls, they are talking about this another product.
Yeah.
They are so efficient.
Yeah.
No time wasting.
Exactly.
One product to another
Yeah,
to another.
yeah,
Hey, and it is so well executed. And people love the experience of somebody selling it to them,
Yeah.
somebody trying it on them.
Mhm.
Oh, this
They
color.
can relate, to the person trying.
And that's encouraging additional sales.
Yeah.
It's encouraging a new economy that never existed.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
What has happened with bricks and mortar stores? Them online retailers are beating them hands down.
Yeah.
You go to London, all the high streets, 30% of the shops are empty
Why?
because the retail industry has collapsed
Taken
because of Amazon.
Like huge warehouses.
Online shopping.
Yeah,
Yes.
huge warehouses,
And their overheads are a fraction of a retail overheads. The retailer has to pay the
Rent,
the rents,
workers.
the charges, the many things, and these are even council taxes for businesses are unaffordable for many retailers. These guys are in the farm somewhere, huge warehouses with huge logistics capacities, and they deliberately put it in Milton Keynes because it is center of England, where distribution from here to London to Manchester to Liverpool
Yeah.
is more cost effective.
Yeah. That's pretty.
And it is not only small retailers, even supermarkets are feeling it.
Yeah.
Giants, supermarkets are giants of commerce.
Yeah. Yeah.
They cannot compete
I
with
totally
online
agree.
retailers.
I totally agree with you when you talk about our mindset should shift from the traditional sales method to the attention-seeking method. And that's exactly that's ishowspeed has shown. Let me give you an example. Car dealerships. How did they used to do business before? They had a showroom, they had a specific location. But these days, I don't know if you know, there are groups of people, especially in East Africa, in Kenya particularly, they have YouTube channels where they go cruising from, let's say, Nairobi to Johannesburg. On the road, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You should check that. I forgot the name, but you can just check it on the internet. Now, during the journey, not only do they show the landscape, how beautiful it is, when you pass the corridors, but the second thing is they take time to advertise about the cars.
So they're promoting the features,
Exactly.
the benefits.
Exactly. You remember those side mirrors you used to have just to see how handsome we look in the car? Now they've turned it into dash cams.
Okay.
Very powerful dash cams. I don't want to advertise the product here, but they talk about the effectiveness of the dash cam. Rear one, front one. You can do 360. You can even take full HD, and then you can have it on the cloud. It's amazing. And guess what? They have more sales because people see the demonstration of the car, of the gadget. So you see, even the marketing system has completely changed.
Yeah,
We used to be very
that's like
static
online
before.
shopping.
Exactly.
Where you are
Exactly.
allowed to try it
Yeah,
without
to
being
try.
there.
Yes, to try it.
Somebody else is trying it for you.
Exactly.
Somebody else is showing how you
Showing
use
the
this.
failure,
Okay, how
showing
do you use this?
Exactly.
The steering warmer. How do you
Exactly.
use the seat warmer?
Exactly. So that's the best opportunity. Like when they do the cruising, they advertise a lot. They advertise on the different. You see those beds they put on top of the car when they camp. They also advertise on camping gadgets like utensils,
Yes.
the
banners
cutleries,
and
the banners. Yeah. So for me, that is the best method to advertise, just like the TikTok shop. And that's exactly what ishowspeed was doing.
Yeah.
It was indirect advertisement
Of
people
tourism.
taking advantage.
Of these countries.
Yeah.
And those countries that failed, Tanzania failed to attract him.
To attract.
And now they're crying.
Yeah, we all know tourism ads did not do as a great job as ishowspeed does,
Yeah.
or what he did in Africa.
Mm.
So talking about ishowspeed, what should African leaders, African entrepreneurs and creators learn from what he has done?
People don't want brochures. They don't want glossy brochures. They want experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
They want raw, unscripted
The sensation. Yeah.
sensation.
Mhm.
This brochures and websites and all of them will fail
Mhm.
if without attention they are duds or dodo.
Yeah.
They'll go extinct.
Yeah.
We are now moving into an attention economy, and there's those countries that garner attention. Tourism is one industry that creates more job opportunities than any other any other industry. Every foreign tourist is creating 3 local jobs in every country that they're going to in Africa. There is a chef being employed, there is a driver being employed, there is a maid or something being employed.
Yeah.
Mm.
There are videos of Americans saying that they wasted quote unquote $5,000 in a week. But what they don't know is that they created jobs for us.
Yes.
When visiting Africa.
Not only that, in the plane I was coming to, and I came across a ranger, an Irish ranger, English Irish ranger, and when he shows his lifestyle in Kenya, where he manages a range in Voi, is that he can say and claim that I can afford a maid, I can afford a watchman, I can
he's
afford
very proud of it. Yeah.
I can afford a babysitter.
Yeah, he's very proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a total of $1,000 or £1,000. It's very cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. Even less than that.
Yeah. Less.
And his friends, whenever he visits back his hometown in Ireland or in London, they're envious of him. You are living in the wilderness. You are living raw, fresh lifestyle
Pure.
with all these amenities.
Exactly.
And here we are in a red dress.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And everybody in Europe is in a red dress.
Too much pressure. Stress all over.
And this notion that both people going to work is benefiting the family was a lie that was sold to all of us. What happened in the 70s, they introduced that both people, the husband and wife needs to go to work. What happened is because now they were both generating income, the house prices went from 10,000 to 70,000. What happened? Who took that additional income? The bankers.
Yeah, the real estate. Wow.
In fact, two people working has been detrimental to the Western family structure. There is no one doing babysitting, no one rearing their kids, no one cooking, and all the responsibilities are falling onto the governments. It is the government's duty to educate my child. It is the government's duty to cure my child, provide health care, provide education, and provide a job. These socialist values are unsustainable. And the world did this on a population scale in the communist era, where China and Russia, even though they had machinery and they had tractors, they gave everybody a djembe and made everybody a peasant, and everyone went hungry. Just by throwing more labor at a problem without innovation does not increase productivity. In fact, it decreased it. It caused more increased productivity. In fact, more fatalities. It killed more people. These two stupidities killed more people than the two world wars put together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going back to the creator
That's
economy, why do you think creators have now more influence than institutions?
It's mainly they are leveraging technology to reach to millions. Ishowspeed, when he started, he was only having 2-3 viewers. Today, the guy speaks and millions of people listen to him.
Steve, you're a content and voice monetization expert. What do you think iShowSpeed did right?
Yeah, coming back to the government side of government's responsibility, or what should African governments do as per iShowSpeed visit, I think the government should start looking for champions. I don't know if you remember when we were young, there was this drink, the drink, I don't want to mention it, but it's an alcoholic drink. And there was a champion for the drink. I don't know if you remember. And they used to create series. So there were series where he was jumping from a plane, where he was chasing the bad guys, where he was, an African. And the sales exploded. And funny enough, after that time, everything just died out. I think iShowSpeed has brought that again. We need to find champions for every institutions of African governments. For example, in health, we need to have a champion to create content. In tourism, we need to have champions to create content. What are those champions? They could just be random people, just like iShowSpeed when it started. Let me take, for example, the Ministry of Health. Why can't our African government create like a specific character in a specific country that is going to showcase the reality of health in Africa, for example? You can go visit like public hospitals, you can do tours, just like iShowSpeed, live, raw. And advised, like they go to hospitals and they see real conditions, because this is what is going to make governments really react.
Yes, because it will show that
exactly
it will take the veil off.
Exactly. Just random visits, like they go to a maternity and they see the conditions. This is where our government will definitely have to react, and they will improve. It doesn't just improve through government.
No. If there is no accountability, there is no improvement.
Exactly.
If you don't measure, you don't focus on it.
Exactly.
You don't focus, you don't become.
Exactly. Exactly. So they need those content creators who can just go live and then show people the reality on the ground. It's just like when you go to the traffic department, like traffic police, take a random guy, not necessarily a police officer, but just a citizen, and then let him do a live tour of the traffic situation. That's where the government can account for itself to see whether the actions they are doing on the grounds are good or not. So I think this is one side that I can take as a lesson from iShowSpeed. We need to create more champions for content creation in order to improve the government and to have better accountability.
Not only that, but also show off what you have.
Exactly.
No, if you don't tell the story, the dark continent story will stick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to erase it from people's minds, from people's psyches, from people's narratives. If you don't write your story, the world will pest whatever they want to pest.
You know, there's a lady in Uganda. Her content is about those African huts. You know, because this is the image we have. But guess what? She is showing why we built it like that. It was for natural air condition. It was to avoid heat at night. This goes all the way Sudan, everywhere. So that mud hut, it was actually how can I say, climate friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ergonomic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was economic. It was very cheap for us, and it was even able to sustain rainfalls, and stuff like that. So she has twisted the story.
Yeah.
Because it used to be a mockery.
Yeah, it is a sign of resilience.
Exactly.
It's engineered.
Yes.
It didn't happen by fluke. It's like the Noscan house.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it is covered in clay tiles.
Yeah, I've seen
deliberately
that
because to minimize some the light and heat, so that this house does not require AC.
Yeah.
And they've done the same thing with living plants in the new building. So it's not only controlling heat and light, but also generating oxygen and bringing beauty.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you guys have highlighted that creator economy's influence on tourism and countries' problems.
Governance, accountability, there's a lot. There's a lot.
But before all that, we have an issue of citizens, youth who cannot create because they think they have to qualify for some platform eligibility requirements, and they fall into that trap of like, I have to either reach 1,000 subscribers or some number that I can monetize. What do you think?
I think Stevie is the best person to answer for that.
That's just a flat, or should I say a fat lie. The only thing anybody needs is just a mobile phone. As long as you have a camera which takes color, even if it's not full HD, if it's just a normal phone, you just need a phone, that's all. You need a phone and you need yourself. Like you said, content creation is not something that has to be scripted. When ishowspeed came, there was nothing scripted. It was just raw. It was natural. So if you don't start the first step today, and that's what I always say in my videos, if you don't start the very first step today, you'll never make it. And guess what? It is not only for Gen Zs. I'm 44 years old. I'm not a Gen Z.
I am 54.
There we go. We create content for business. You do
Yes,
that for
yes.
business. I also do that for business. I'm into the field of conference interpreting. So my content on my other channel, which is called Conference Interpreting in Africa, seeks to educate not only interpreters, aspiring interpreters, but also clients on the conditions, on how we work. And that's why my videos, I realize them, I shoot them within the book. That's the working conditions for people to understand. So stop blaming, stop finding an excuse like, oh, I'm too old, I can't do that, I can create. I told you this week, I had 2 businessmen, they are into shipping and clearing in Rwanda. And they are like, Steve, you know what? We realize our sales have gone down, like our clients have gone down. And I asked them, what do you think is the problem? You know what he told me? They are not visible enough on social media.
True.
Can you imagine?
Yes. So businessmen are realizing that visibility is an important thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I told them to create at least a YouTube channel where they are going to give information for free about clearing, shipping in Africa, customs clearance. So they should make it sound like they are educating.
Yes.
If possible, they can also invite an authority, maybe the customs representatives or maybe shippers union. So this is going to give them credibility and it's going to generate sales. Because
it is going to make them the authority.
Absolutely.
On the subject.
Like the go-to for the industry.
Yeah.
And they were shocked. They were like, I thought it was for kids. I said, no, don't think social media is for children. Everybody needs social media. Trump has social media.
Of course.
There you go.
That was one of his reasons for being re-elected again.
Ooh.
social media. Because what Hillary Clinton did, she talked about herself.
Oh yeah.
And what Trump did is he talked about the pain of his
citizens.
Yeah. So the narrative changed.
So it made it.
Even though she was better candidate in every context.
Oh yeah, she was a contestant. Yeah.
Then Trump got elected because of his messaging.
Yeah.
He focused on the pains of his voters, not himself. On like Hillary Clinton did. I will solve this. I will do this. No. You enable your citizens to deal with their problems.
Exactly.
Empathize with them. Connect with them.
Yeah.
That's what this guy, youngster, is doing. He's connecting with local African, youths, talent, random. Even sometimes, he came next to our, Norscan house, and on the street he didn't have anyone there, so he's grabbing people from the streets.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
he's grabbing people, off the street and saying, oh, Midway and all these things.
You know the status quo. It used to be like we invite a football player, a world champion, or maybe
influencers, so-called influencers.
Absolutely,
yeah. And influencer economy also is diminishing. It's like the brick and mortar stores.
Exactly.
Okay, talking about that, why do you think content that is edited is performing poorly than natural content that requires connection?
Okay, when I went to learn public speaking from my guru Andy Harrington, he had a cameraman, and the cameraman just used an iPhone. I asked, he's an Indian, young, talented cameraman. I asked him, why are you using, you have access to such, good equipment. Why are you using just a small phone? And he says, Harish, it is deliberate. Because you and I receive messages from our friends and families that are raw, that are short on their handsets, on their cameras, and we engage with it. When we see something that is polished, it looks like an ad.
Yeah.
And today, all you have to do is scroll.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's polished, it's an ad, somebody is trying to sell to me, we don't like to be sold to. We like buying things. I bought these shoes, I bought this shop, I just bought these things. But when I say, buy this now,
buy this one, yeah.
we shut off.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we all like to buy things, but we don't like to be sold to. And now this new media is allowing us to, sell in a way that is not salesy.
Yeah, exactly.
That is connecting people to the product and the services without, buy this now.
For example, the microphone that we are using, this mic, that tiny stuff that is giving us quality sound. I believe a lot of viewers will be like, what are you using? Because I've seen it on live streams. There's a millionaire, an American. He puts it on his hat. So he just puts it like that.
Okay.
And people are like, what's that nice gadget? They say, this is what is giving me the sound. And then, viewers were like, please tell us what it is. We want to buy it.
Yeah.
You know what he told them? All right, I will give you my affiliate link. So they can also make some profit.
Yeah. So, and this is a good point again. You don't have to have a certain number of viewers. You can have affiliate links from day one.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You can have, a Patreon account. You can have, a Buy Me a Coffee account from day one.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a payment issue, which is going to be, Kenya has managed to, allow its content creators to be monetized.
Yeah.
I think, the rest of Africa should do the same.
Yeah.
The platforms need to be forced to start paying African content creators.
Exactly. Yeah.
They are not going to go and say, "Oh, I'm feeling generous today, Africa." African creators come, we'll pay you. Yeah. No. Yeah. They are not going to do that.
Yeah, for
That,
sure.
that's why our government should take responsibility and understand that the content creation industry is worth billions of dollars. So they need to create incentives for us. They need
Yes.
to allow us to receive
And it has to
payments
be classified as a profession,
as a profession.
as a business.
Exactly.
It needs to be in the same as shipping is, or
Exactly.
logistics is, or retail is, or wholesale
Exactly.
is, or
Yeah.
service industries.
He said something great. He said, you shouldn't always expect to have 1,000 subscribers. Somebody will tell you this is crazy. How is it possible? Even if you have 2 subscribers on your TikTok account, once you share something valuable, you may receive a DM. So everything starts from the DM, that is a direct message. So on the DM, that's where you have to add whatever service or product that you have, like your booking, like your how do you call it? Buy me a coffee if somebody wants to support you, or like your one-on-one sessions.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where people can. Yeah, that's where you can start monetizing as early as possible.
Yeah.
So stop that mindset of having 10,000, 20,000. If this is what you expect, my brother, my sister, you might spend like 5, 10 years, and you would end up just giving up and say this is not for you.
Okay, the burnout rate in YouTuber industry or the content creation industry is alarming. The infant mortality rate is more than 99%. 99% of the content creators don't last 3 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is mainly, and they've invested so much in the equipment. They've bought very expensive camera. They've bought expensive, mics. They've bought everything to look glamorous. And it is discouraged. It's disadvantaging them because they are seen as salespeople.
Yeah. Too salesy.
Yeah.
When I create, I do voiceover projects with clients. Sometimes I ask them permission to shoot the entire scene just to show them raw what I do on voiceovers. So sometimes I record myself. Guess what? I not only have a studio back in my office, but I also have a studio at home. And my home studio, let me tell you, is just as natural as possible. Guess what? Sometimes my dog even just slides in. Yeah, whilst I'm recording. You see, it makes it sound relatable.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, I want to do the same thing, Stevie. Please help me. That's what I start helping because they've seen how simple and realistic, raw, whatever I have is
one of our videos that is doing so well is called Why Rwanda, and it's a conversation between two Indians talking about Rwanda, and in between, one of my cameramen starts coughing. He goes out. Another cameraman comes, and we didn't edit it out.
Yeah.
We deliberately kept it, and it has the highest engagement, the highest messages and responses and everything.
What do you think what explains it? Is it because it's just laid back, natural?
It is, yeah, because people are tired of scripted, a narrative, fixed narrative, boxed narrative, ideas, and we are learning a number of things that there are a number of things that we need to stop cutting out. There is a trend now in 2026 where raw content is more engaging because of its authenticity.
Yeah. And non-AI.
And there is this fear that AI is going to take over. I study technological revolutions, and every technological revolution has created more jobs than it has destroyed. Just take the hose and cart industry. When we moved from the hose and cart industry, for thousands of years we've been using hose and cart for transportation, for people and goods. Then the first car came out. First car was a 10 horsepower. Even an emperor at that time could not imagine having a chariot with 10 horses.
Yeah.
And today you and I are driving 300 horsepower bangers that we can buy them for dirt cheap. Yeah, the car has created the cities and towns and roads, and everything is car centric. The size of the road being 13 meters is specific for a car. The old roads in London, 9-meter roads, you can't have parked cars and
Exactly.
Cars crossing each other.
Yeah. And as we come to our conclusion of this live, I want to ask you both one question. What did, in one sentence, you can answer it in one sentence.
Okay.
What did ishowspeed really do right, and how can business owners apply it in their own businesses?
Connect with your audience, connect with your customers, connect with your suppliers. Connections are your greatest asset as a businessman. At human level, at tradition level, at food level, at language level.
Yeah, I think that's the same. It's connection creates relatability, so it makes you relate to your audience, and it makes you naturally gain attention and audience. So stay truthful to yourself, stay raw, stay natural, stay honest, and you will see your sales will increase, your views will increase, and you make more sales and you sell more products as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harish, Mr. Steve, for showing up for today's live. This was Africa Talks Business Show, live every Saturday. I want to remind you that you have to like the live and subscribe to the channels so that you can be notified the next time they are live. Join us every Saturday, 11 a.m. East African time. Thank you for watching.
It's